I'm sorry for the awkward filming. My phone's charging. I don't give a fuck. Alright, so anyways, let's talk about Halloween. So, me and my friend Lance used to go trick-or-treating together all the time. Before that, I went with my family. I went with my grandmother and my nana and all my cousins, Megan and Lauren. All my cousins. I'm not going to say their last name, but it doesn't even matter. Anyways, I used to go trick-or-treating with my whole family almost. You know? And that was kind of just the way it was for a while. This one time, I dressed up as... I remember I was the Black Power Ranger. I was... I remember so many Halloweens. So one time I was Superman one time. This one Halloween I was the Black Spider-Man. You know? Like the Venomized Spider-Man. And it had bulky muscles and stuff. There's pictures of it. Maybe one day I'll make another video like this and I'll put pictures in it. But, yeah, I remember I was at my aunt's school. She had a big school she was a part of. And they were having a big Halloween party. And they had cookies and bounce houses and all these cars. It was almost like a car show, too. And it was all this music. I was just jumping up and down in the bounce houses and watching, you know, Star Wars movies and having face paint. They were playing the Star Wars movie. And it was really late there. And it was just so much fun. And we were dancing and stuff. So that was that Halloween. Another Halloween I went up to Connecticut. Because that's where my stepdad's mother and brother lived. Was in Connecticut. He had some other family up there too. And that Halloween, I was an alien. Like I had a green alien mask and the spiked up collar. Some of you might know what I'm talking about. And that Halloween, I remember we just went through his neighborhood. It wasn't a very eventful Halloween. I got a cupcake. This old lady gave me a cupcake, and it tasted kind of weird, but I ate it anyway. And I remember I threw up, and it was like a baby puke. You know, it was one of those tasting ones. I had baby pukes for a while. You can tell the difference between a regular puke and a baby puke. A baby puke is just, I don't know, I don't know, it's like rotten milk almost. Anyways, whatever. So, there's another Halloween after that. I just stayed with my dad at my mom's apartment. Me and my dad, Ray. His name is Ray. And I remember I had a Spider-Man walkie-talkie, and I think he had like a Green Goblin walkie-talkie, and he had peanut M&Ms. He said, "You don't want peanut M&Ms? Good thing I want them." And he ate all of them. And I had chocolate M&Ms. So that was a good Halloween too. Halloween after that, well, it wasn't the Halloween directly after that, but it was another Halloween. I went with my friend Lance, and he was like, I think he had a Michael Myers costume with like a devil mask, and I had a Michael Myers costume with a Michael Myers mask. And he had like Skechers, Heelys or wheelies. I'm pretty sure they call them Heelys. Yeah, they were called Heelys. And he used to just roll up and down these big concrete hills with these two... It was just such an iconic thing. He would roll down these concrete hills through these wavy, windy black roads with these two giant pillowcases of just filled with candy on each side of his back, with just dressed as Michael Myers. And it was like, I don't know, that was a great Halloween. And me and Lance did that a lot. And we would eat candy and stay up all night, and we would never go to school the next day. That was always really exciting, you know. Another Halloween, I remember, I was with my cousin Lauren and her boyfriend and her boyfriend's brother. So it was Lauren and her boyfriend's brother. And he was pretending like he had some type of mental disorder. And he was dressed as a nurse, and I think so was so is her boyfriend. They were like nurses with clown masks, and he was like running after people on skateboards and like, blah, blah, you know, acting like a retard. And he's like, I can't see the candy, but I can smell it, and it smells so good. And people were making fun of him. And we were like, what do you say? He's like, Merry Christmas. Like, no, that's next time. And this one guy was like, hey, watch this. And he picked up this handful of candy. And he just dropped it in. He had big hands. I'm joking. He picked this giant fucking handful of candy. He was like, here, watch this. There you go. He was getting like extra candy for being mentally challenged. That was a great Halloween. That was hilarious. Another Halloween, me and my friend Alejandro and my other friend Pierre, who I wouldn't really call a friend now. I don't really call Pierre one of my friends. Pierre was kind of shady to me. He ended up being kind of shady, but he was fucking hilarious. Me, Pierre, and Alejandro, we went to Meisner Park, and they were having this huge Halloween party. They had like those big lights that go up in the sky so you can see where the party is. They had Batman on one of them. They had the Joker on the other one. They were like controlling the lights. It was amazing. My friend Alejandro climbed up the one of the pavilions, and his hands were all red. And this nice chick looked good. She came over, and she was dressed up too. She came over from one of the stands and gave him ice for his hands. That was great. And we were like dancing through the crowds of people to get to like the movie theater that was about to close. We were trying to see a movie. We went to McDonald's that night. That was another great Halloween. That night was really weird because there was a thing that happened. Sorry. Where there was this dog in the window, and sorry. There was this dog in the window, and it was on this side. And this was a huge fucking, like, mansion, okay, we were looking at. The dog was over here. And then we kept walking, and we ran to the other side of the house, and then it was right there. It was, like, on the other side of the house. Like, how could it have possibly done that? Like, there's no way that's one room. So that was kind of creepy. Yeah. I don't know where he is. I have no clue. Anyways, another Halloween was, I was with my friend Alexander. I just call him Alex. He was a bit shady. He's cool now, but back then he was a bit shady. He wasn't really sure of himself, I think. But we went trick-or-treating with him. That was the year there was reportings of, like, there was, like, reports of people shooting other people with paintball guns and stealing their candy. That happened. I think I was Ghostface and he was someone else. I don't remember who he was. That wasn't a very eventful night. We actually went to the park and just, like, watched porn. We watched porn, like lesbian porn, on his phone at the park at night. So that was a Halloween to remember, I guess. I don't know. There was a Halloween bash the night before Halloween one year where this kid named Max Cupulis, who, he was a shady kid. I don't think he liked me very much. And for that reason, I didn't like him very much. But anyways, we went to his mansion, and he was thinking about inviting me. I don't think he wanted to, but I wanted to go pretty bad. So we went to the mansion, huge fucking mansion, biggest house I've ever been in, glass staircase, people coming in dressed like Lady Gaga, dressed like Nicki Minaj, just those rubber suits that only cover your tits and pussy. Like, people were wearing that, just walking in, and just gulfs of people. Just a bunch of great-looking women just walking in, just stampedes of them. And that was amazing. And we were playing around with the clothes and jumping out of closets and scaring people. And, yeah, there was other Halloweens where I went out by myself and didn't get that much candy. There was a Halloween I went with my cousins, my little cousins, and my aunt, and my Aunt Jackie, and my uncle, and some of his family. We went out. That was a good Halloween. There was all these really awesome decorations and Halloween parties. You know, they really went out. That was up in Virginia. So yeah, just a lot of really great Halloweens I've had. I didn't think I'd be able to remember so many, but yeah, it was great. Every Halloween I've ever had was either uneventful or great. I had never really had a bad Halloween, you know. I've had some boring ones. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Trying to think if I can think of another one. I don't know. My friend Lance, his dad used to have a big, his dad's since passed away, but his dad had a big white van, and he used to drive us around in there. And it was kind of dangerous. There was knives and stuff in there, but we didn't care. We'd run up to the house